What's happening, Hardscapers? We're here today to wrap up this project. It's a wet day, but thankfully we've got, instead of polymeric sand to wrap up our job, this Azpects EASYJoint material. It is semi-permeable, so it's going to allow water to drain through. Now, this job was already planned to have EASYJoint installed on it. We are using gator base on this job. It's really important that our subgrade, as always, but even more so with this semi-permeable joint compound, that the subgrade is pitched away from our foundation well enough that when that water drains through the jointing compound, hits that gator base and continues to go out to our swale here, it is going to follow that gator base, and when it drains through that gator base, it follows through, drains through that non-woven geotextile that's underneath the HPB as well, hits that subgrade and continues towards our swale, so we have no water issues here against the foundation. So as you can see here, foundation is behind the camera. We are draining out to this area with some decorative aggregate here, and that's going to hit the drain pipe and exit out. So that's why with this jointing compound, as well as really any polymeric sand or whatever you're putting in the joints, you've got that slope well enough that it's going to exit where you want it to. Polymeric sand only lets through about 3% of water through the joints. This EASYJoint compound is semi-permeable. It's going to allow a lot of water through. We can install it, and we need to install it with water, which is great when it's raining. Water's already here. Water's already present on the slabs here. If we weren't installing in the rain, if it was a nice sunny day, we would pre-wet the entire surface here. Pre-wet it all, and then we would empty out our EASYJoint material onto the slabs and just soak it with water. More water, the better. The water is going to allow those particles to permeate and hit that gator base all the way down to the bottom of the joint. So the more water, the better. These semi-permeable products are great. For what I use it for is a gator base install or any raised patio install. That's where I find it works best, especially when it's open graded and you've got that exfiltration pipe available and that water is going to exit out where you want it to. The first step when installing this product is to compact the pavers to seat them into the bedding layer, and the second step is to wet the entire surface of the area to allow us to then open up a container, rip the bag open, and empty it onto the paving surface. We then need to immediately wet this material. You do not want to let this material dry to the surface. You want to hit it with water right away and keep water on it throughout the installation time. Especially when it's hot out, you'll want to keep this product wet. You can then use a squeegee or a soft bristle broom to move this product around the surface while keeping the water on it to allow that material to reach the bottom of the joint. You'll use water throughout this process to remove any excess oil or product from the surface. You'll want to rinse off any excess to make sure it doesn't stain or stick to the surface of the product, and continue this process until the entire surface has that jointing compound in the joints. Much like polymeric sand installation, you'll want to come 1/8 of an inch below the top of paver or below the bottom of the chamfer. If need be, you can use a jointing tool to get the joints just right. This material works best with joints of 1/4 inch in thickness or more. If it's less than 1/4 inch, it takes a little bit of tooling with a thin tool that you can use to push the material down into the joints, or even a rolling compactor to be able to get that material into the joints. This product works best if you have at least 2 people there, 1 person on the hose and 1 person sweeping around the product to be able to install this, though I have been able to do this by myself. There is also a product on the market called the Hydro Broom that allows you to hook up a hose to a broom and keep water on it at all times running through that broom and allowing you to sweep to install. Now, this material does take some time to install. I found it takes at least double the time of installing a polymeric sand. In addition to that, it's about 3 times the cost as well. It is a great product for the shoulder seasons, both early in the season and late in the season, when polymeric sand gets a little bit more difficult to find the right day to install it with all the rain and moisture on the surface of the pavement. But it needs to be taken into consideration when you are quoting a job. It is not one of those products that you just decide on the day of the project that you're going to install it, because at 3 times the cost, that can really eat into your profits. In addition to the labor costs involved in being able to install this. One thing that's great about it is that there's no waste. You can then scoop up any remaining product, put it back into the bucket, and add water to it to keep it useful in the future. About a month afterwards, you can still use that product. The paving joints reach full strength after about 1 month, but the best part about this is that even if it rains after installation, it's totally fine. It air cures. If you do find after time that the joints are clogging, I have heard that you can pressure wash this material to free up any debris and allow that water to continue to permeate through the joint. Now, I have used this to install on a raised patio, keeping that raised patio fairly level and to allow the water to permeate through this EASYJoint compound. I don't quite recommend that for everything. The situations need to be just right for this. There was no trees around this area, and that means there's less clogging of these joints. And when we build our raised patios, we're using an open graded material, so any water is going right through the joints, right through the base, and into an exfiltration pipe and out of the system. Again, the conditions need to be just right for you to be able to do that with any raised patio and using this product. Another application where this product would shine would be a pool patio, as long as there's proper drainage below the material. Azpects also has a 2-part EASYJoint product called EASYJoint Pro for heavier traffic loads. I hope you found this video informative, helpful. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. Like this video if you did find it helpful, and thank you for watching.